Tuesday, December the 10th, my birthday, and it's time for the charts of the day. Look, if you think the market was down today, take a gander at these 20 stocks. Pretty amazing what's going on in Wall Street, even though the market's down. It's a stock picker's market, no question. Look at ARQQ. Long downtrend, forms a rounding bottom, inverse head and shoulder, whatever you want to call it. Bottom line, it broke out here 2 weeks ago, ran up wedge and popped from the larger wedge, and today spiked 455, almost 20%. Volume was 1.4 million. This is not a heavily traded stock. However, I think there's a possibility that if this continues, we may see something in the low 40s. No kidding. Keep an eye on this. AUPH, also long downtrend. Turnaround, base breakout, coil, pop, retest, flag, breakout. What a big day today. 1048 up 135, up 15% gain, 4.7 million. That's one of the bigger volumes of the year, and it comes on a breakout day. Right now, I'd be looking for a move. It gets us up to 12. BYRN, this is a tech trader swing. Broke out of a coil last month, popped and ran to the channel top near my target, pulled back in front of the beautiful wedge, broke out big time today. 18.5 to 22.44, finished 21.77 up 285, a 15% gain. Mine was 1.3 million. Again, not a heavily traded stock, but a stock that I think can make it into the 30-33 range at some point. ClearPoint, breakout, multi-month consolidation. The last 3 days, 12 to 18. Finished 17.07. I was up 241 or 16%. My target, 22.5. Chimerix, big base, massive breakaway gap on dry biotech news. Stock literally went from 87 cents to a high today of 339. That's about a 300% gain from top to bottom. Then it backed up to 290. Still ended up 203. That's 235% on a mere 207 million shares. I would call that major breakaway type move. And there's a possibility that this continues, and we might see in the 4.5 and 6 zone. Stay tuned. CRDF. Cardiff had a massive engulfing reversal day today, dipping to 215 and more than doubling to 480. Finished 381 up 137, a 56% gain. 66 million shares traded today. It did back off the high though. There is some resistance up there, followed by the possibilities of 6.25. Gxai. Some of the AI stocks popped today. This one now 5 days in a row up from 120 to today's high of 750. This is almost a 7-fold increase in a week. There's going to be support right there at 3.5 and some resistance at 8. We get through that, it might be a $10 stock. NAMS with massive drug news today exploded through a 1-year base and went from about 18 to 30. Let's see, the lowest. It did gap up from 18 to 22 and then ran to 35. Backed off, closed up 885 at 27.37, a 48% gain. 11 million shares traded. This is a massive breakout to new all-time highs. We could see some follow through. Let's see what it does the next day or two. NBIS, one of our swings, forming a wedge after yesterday's nasty reversal. It had an inside day and a positive one today, up 194.6%. This one's going to have to get back up to 38, my next target, and then make it into the low to mid 40s. NVCR, coming out of a beautiful base with a major breakaway, it's now forming a wedge. This should be a swing to 33, 38, and 42. QBTS coming out of a base, popped and pulled back, then exploded, and then did a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move. This may not be done though. 6.5 and 8 might be targets. QMCO with a spike and a pullback wedge, and then a snap out of that wedge and back up through resistance today. Engulfing bullish reversal day, 21.48 up 559, a 35% gain. I'm now looking for a move to low 30s and then 40. QUBT popped about 4 or 5 weeks ago and then pulled back in a 3-day low volume ebb, then ran up hard. At this point, possibly, if you count them from mid-October, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave move. I think, though, it's not done yet, and a move of QUBT gets to 9.25. You might see 12, 13, 14, something like that. QURE had a monster day on positive drug news, 730 to 1739, a 10-point spike, and then pulls back to 1532, up 8 at the close. That's a 110% gain. 75 million shares. This is huge buying for this stock, and the highest level and a gap fill going all the way back to a couple of years. You can see the next target might be, if it continues, 23. Rgti and some news that with NVIDIA has just been smoking it of late. This has gone from, get this, 73 cents on October the 10th. 2 months later, tenfold to more than 8 before finishing at 768. 263 million shares traded on this today. RVPH comes out of a base, spikes and pulls back, then had a positive inside day, gaining 58 cents to 27%. My targets are 3.5, 4.5, and 6. SEI. After coiling for weeks, the stock exploded in early November and literally has gone from 13 to 30 in just 4 or 5 weeks. Today, a bullish engulfing reversal day, now looking for mid-30s. SERV popped out. It's now 4 days in a row, coming through resistance. My target is 18 and 24. UNFI Foods popped out of a flag and went vertical. The next lateral resistance is up here at around 36.7. That's my target on this one. There is some resistance at the channel top, right where it is. And finally, VMEO, which you put a swing on when it popped and pulled back, coiled for another couple weeks, but today, nice spike breakout up to 790. It did pull back to 733, up only 33 cents, less than 5%, and volume was about 7 million. But I like the look of this for a move towards 9. Let's look at some of the very, very hot stocks at thetechtrader.com. Good night, everybody.